When you save on auto insurance for driving safe with USAA Safe Pilot, you'll feel like a big deal, even in a traffic jam. Save up to 30% with USAA Safe Pilot. Restrictions apply.
Right now, the Sleaze.
Couple of notable deaths in celebrity sleaze barns. Pat Robertson, minister broadcaster, has died at the age of 93. And do you remember the Iron Sheik, the wrestler from Iran? He was wrestling in the 80s. He was wrestling people like Hulk Hogan. And anyway, he just passed away at the age of 81. Are you following what is happening with these Canadian wildfires?
Yes, all the people posting pictures of just yellow.
It's insane. And if you look at the time-lapse photos in New York, I have a friend of mine flying into New York today, but I have to say they're canceling a lot of flights. There are air quality alerts in 15 different states. It's nuts what is going on. So if you're traveling, I would say be careful out there. Wow. Just wow. Mr. Barnes, outside of Canadian wildfires, the other thing that is happening is they're canceling things in New York. They just canceled a performance of Hamilton. So this doesn't look like it's getting any better. It's a little worrisome.
I saw a bunch of people called in sick. Or sick or out or whatever.
A bunch of people called in sick. Well, there was a notice from my company because, you know, they're headquartered in New York, and they were saying, you know, you don't have to come into work because of the air quality. People are kind of staying in their apartments.
That is so trippy. How long could this go on?
I don't know, but I've been following it. You go on Twitter, these time-lapse photos are just insane. Speaking of New York, Billy Joel ending his 10-year record-breaking residency at Madison Square Garden. I'm going to see if I can go to that before it ends in 2024 because I've heard it's just insane. 150 of those shows with his 150 lifetime show in July of 2024. They're saying he's entertained 1.6 million fans at MSG. Wow, wow, and wow.
Pretty impressive.
Hey, I know you got me a bottle of that, was it champagne from Brad Pitt's Chateau Miraval?
No, that was rosé.
Oh, you got me rosé. Okay. Well, Brad Pitt is now saying Angelina Jolie secretly plotted to sell her share of their French estate, Chateau Miraval, to get back at him because of their bitter custody battle. According to legal documents obtained by Page Six, he claims that he and Jolie agreed they would never sell their share in the $30 million property they bought back in 2008 without the other's approval. When they got their divorce in 2019, she decided she wanted out and started to negotiate a buyout option with Brad Pitt. She allegedly even agreed to divide the business up 68% to 38% in his favor because he had invested more money and time into the project. You didn't even know all of that when you were buying this for me.
I did not know that. You know, we've only been in France now, I think 2.5 weeks, and we've been saving the corks from all of the wine that's been consumed here, and there's already enough to build a small boat. So that may be the way I have to come back home across. I mean, it's like, wow, how did that many get stocked up? But everywhere you go is just wine in Provence.
Have you seen Tenacious D naked in their photo?
I don't know what the number is, but you would have to pay me handsomely to go anywhere to see that band. I just don't get it.
It's, well, there are some diehard fans of Tenacious D, and they have added a fall leg of their 2023 tour itinerary. Jack Black, Kyle Gass, they're back hitting the road, their new Spicy Meatball Tour, kicking off September 6th.
What do we get thing to do to make me dream of you? I wanna fall in love with you.
Gag.
Yeah, they just released a cover of Wicked Game.
Ugh. It's just Jack Black, and so it rolls over to Tenacious D for me. I don't get it.
Well, I have to say, if you follow them on Instagram or anything, they're like, they have guitars placed over them, but they're naked, which is not a great sight either.
And I won't.
You, of course, know the name Robin Zander from Cheap Trick. Did you know he had a son, Robin Taylor Zander?
And he's a junior?
Yeah. By the way, we did this whole thing on rock stars and musicians that have kids. He's got a new album out. His son You can kind of hear Dad's influence pretty well. Here's part of the track. It's called High and Low from Robin Taylor Xander.
I would love to hear him do a Cheap Trick cover. He does sound a lot like him.
I kind of dig his voice. Yeah, he sounds like his dad.
I mean, The Flame is one of my favorite Cheap Trick songs of all time. I'd like to hear him do that.
One of our Heritage 99X bands, Social Distortion, founder and band leader Mike Ness revealed on last Wednesday that he's been diagnosed with tonsil cancer, issuing a statement that says, "We will get through this." He's 61, very optimistic, by the way, Barnes. He said, "We think that life is going to go according to our plan," but it has a way of saying, "I don't think so." In the midst of pre-production, I was diagnosed with stage 1 tonsil cancer. I was feeling well enough to continue with recording in the studio until the very day before surgery. The band and I were so inspired and excited to lay down these tracks, which, by the way, sound blanking awesome. So get well soon. Mike Ness of Social D.
Cancer just effing sucks.
It's unbelievable. I'm a big fan of Tom Holland. His new Apple TV series, The Crowded Room, apparently took a lot out of him, so he's taking a year-long break. Quote, "It was a tough time for sure. We were exploring certain emotions that I have definitely never experienced before." Wow, that's got to be like serious and dramatic to have to take a year off. I'll be watching that, The Crowded Room on Apple TV. You know, it's funny because I'm a big Ted Lasso fan. I'm kind of in mourning right now about the show being apparently over unless there's a spinoff. But there was a lot of social chatter about if Ted Lasso and Rebecca Welton would ever get together. Yeah, a lot of people on Reddit were talking about this. Now, Brendan Hunt, who plays Beard, Coach Beard, also serves as a co-creator of the show and executive producer. He revealed that a romance between Ted and Rebecca almost happened. He responded to a fan's question about whether Ted and Rebecca Endgame was ever in consideration. And he said, "Out of professional responsibility, yes," he said in response, "but never with enthusiasm." Yeah, there was a little sexual tension between the two of them.
What's all the spinoff talk that's floating around on social about?
Yeah, there's some spinoff talk that maybe the coaches will get together and have a spinoff show because everyone loves all the characters on that show and all the, all the coaches and stuff. So I don't know. I hope it continues because I literally am in mourning that show could be over.
Could you bottle that magic and make it? Because name a spinoff that has ever worked like to the level?
Well, I will say the incredible writing on that show. Some of the actors are writers, as you know, and co-executive producers. So I'm like betting that it could happen and could be great.
All right.
That's your Sleaze, Barnes.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99X.
This report brought to you by Van Sant Law. If you're in an accident, call 9.
We made USAA insurance for veterans like James. When he found out how much USAA was helping members save, he said,
"It's time to switch.
We'll help you find the right coverage at the right price. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. Restrictions apply.